Hello everyone, welcome to this video where I am going to explore your subconscious mind so that you can discover what it means to dream of fire. Fire is generally associated with burning, in other words, the uncontrolled and absolutely painful loss of everything that allows you to live peacefully. But in my opinion, the most interesting thing about this matter is that most of the time people tend to concentrate on the fire without realizing that in a state of equilibrium, fire is what allows things to be shaped to make them more resistant. Because this is neglecting a fundamental element of this dream, that civilization, and therefore order, has emerged precisely from fire. And therefore, why not to think that this is manifesting itself through your unconscious as a reflection of everything that is happening to you at this moment in your life. But before going into the analysis, in case you don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is Robert. I am a psychoanalyst with more than 30 years of experience. And in case you want to have a psychoanalysis session with me, or in case you want the psychoanalysis of one of your dreams, you send me an email to the one that I am going to leave you here below in the description of this video, so I can tell you how you can join my consultation. Now, back to what it means to dream of fire. This is a very important dream because from the outset, it is revealing that you are going through a phase of your life where you feel very weak, in the sense that you perceive that any problem that arises in your existence potentially becomes a threat that could result in destroying everything that is important to you. Deep down, this dream reflects that all your anxiety processes arise precisely from the fact that you are very afraid of not having enough strength of character to defend what is important to you. And this in turn explains why at this point in your life, even if you don't want to admit it, you feel very afraid of facing the difficulties in your life. Because you fear that if you do, you could just unleash hell on the earth, derived precisely from the fact that those complexes that are manifesting through this dream as a symptom of the process of your psyche make you believe that you must always be, mind you, repressing your passions. But the interesting thing about this matter is that exactly what you most want is precisely to get close to the fire, merge into it, burn you, to start the fire that you fear so much. So that, well, precisely to be reborn, which becomes a big problem precisely because that desire, so much yours, which has accumulated over the years, at this moment in your life, is being repressed by your state of conscious self, which prevents it from coming to light your most passionate aspect. Deep down, it is preventing you from changing, so that you can continue to adapt to the environment in which you lived. And this is very relevant because if you think about it, this dream is expressing that you are living situations where you are constantly forced to repress your character. Precisely because when you do it, that is to say, express your most passionate side, what happens? Conflicts arise. And that is why you are having this dream. Because it is a symptom that reveals that you grew up in an environment where you could not show your annoyance and even your anger. Because when you did, your parents, whoever who was in charge, inescapably forced you not to express any disagreement that you may have. And that is why you dream of fire, and even more so of a fire. Because in practice, this dream allows you to let out all the frustration, that anger that you accumulated over the years. And at least in the dream world, to have the possibility of burning it all. And that is the reason why, if you are having this dream, you are also somatizing some states of your psyche in the real world. If you are having anxiety, anguish, or depression, well, the dream is clearly showing that this occurs because you have reached a point in your life where your unconscious has come into conflict with your conscious self. As I told you, you want to let out your character, your most passionate side, the one that you have always repressed, because now that you are an adult, you feel that you have every right to express how you feel, but you don't, precisely because a little voice is formed inside your psyche that tells you, don't be angry, don't get upset with people, even if they frustrate you. And this, in my opinion, is too heavy a burden to bear, because no one can live their entire existence without expressing their frustrations. But the point is that you do it because you cannot find a solution to this matter. Somehow, you have gotten used to thinking that you should live forever like this. But what can I tell you? In this sense, your unconscious is not deceiving you. It is clearly showing that you want to reveal your true character, your true annoyance. But what happens? All that is repressed by your conscious self. And it is there where the frustration process originates, which is somatized as anguish, anxiety, or depression that I already told you about. And this happens because this complex we are talking about here arises as a remnant of your primitive ego state, the one that was forged during your childhood and that, when repressed, did not fully develop. And for that reason, that is the energy that we now need to release, redirect, and interconnect to your conscious self so that you can have a totally balanced life. Well, as I always say, these are not recent processes. It is a process that has accumulated over many years. These dreams suggest that you grew up in an environment where, for example, you might have siblings who annoy you all the time. But what occurred when this happened? Well, your parents who forced you not to bother you because they lived in a tenuous balance, which led them to try by all means that there were no conflicts in your family, when in reality you know very well that you lived for many years in between of a time of bomb. Your family was always under a lot of stress, and that is why for many years you did not dare to express your annoyance, your anger at the conflicts that others caused you. Deep down, you are the type of person who got used to not being a problem for anyone. Because look, if you expressed your feelings, you threatened to start a fire, which is precisely what has led you in the present to want to burn everything. Because it is a manifestation of this contained energy of your psyche, which in the present you need to release. Because as I said, the conflicts that might exist between your parents were not your fault. But the problem is that you don't know. You don't realize that. And that is why you have developed a psychic structure that leads you to repress your frustration. In all your relationships, they can be work or personal, because when you have expressed your annoyance, all hell has been unleashed. Deep down, this dream is a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. But as I was saying, fire is also civilization. Therefore, the dream is also giving you the key so that you can solve all your problems. You simply must find the balance to learn to manage your own inner fire. The one that will allow you to let your frustration, your annoyance, and ultimately your character come to light. No longer to burn everything, but to impose justice. So that you are the one who civilizes the environment in which you live. As you can see, this is a much more complex dream than it might seem. So you have to pay close attention in case you see yourself in a dream in the presence of fire. For the same reason, you already know that if you want me to psychoanalyze some of your dreams or have therapy sessions with me, just send me an email to the one that I leave you below so that I can tell you the way in which you can integrate to my consultation. And please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video if it helped you in any way, and share it so that others can access to this kind of knowledge. Have a wonderful day, and with it, the most beautiful dreams. Bye!